Okay, if you can't stay for the review, this video will get sent out to our clients. It's June 20th, 2:52 p.m. Just going to go through some of the swing setups that we've been working with here. As far as oil is concerned, you're right near really serious resistance, 57.66. This is a trend line from previous move. There is an updated oil report going out tonight that will give you, it's finished actually, I just have to go through it myself and edit. I got it from Jen. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all of the technical details of oil right now, other than to tell you if you're long right now, 57.66 is your upside resistance, and we had put that out there on the alert earlier today, I believe. Let's look at Epic's alert feed. So there were a number of small trades today. The software hit all, I think it hit all its trades, all small. I missed mine when I didn't work out. Okay. Anyway, it was a small chippy trade, but I'm just going through the alerts here. Yeah, 57.66 on FX US oil WTI. It's our marked high of day in most bullish scenario. That was 3 hours ago. And you're getting right close. So anyway, be careful if you're along there, and the rest of the details on the oil report will be out later today. The first one I'll go through is PXD. So we're long from this morning. Our swing alert Twitter feed is here. So Pioneer Natural Resources, long 148.50 for 160.98 price target, and there's a charting model. Actually, we may as well open this up. So trading 153.70, it's right at a resistance point. Its first stop here will be 161. The actual trajectory is likely going to be a lot faster, but so there's a trajectory in there, and these horizontal lines here, they're your resistance, so you just trim into them and add above each one, and that's on PXD, trading 153.70. Nice gain for that particular stock in one day. Of course, oil's rocking here. Okay, so that's PXD. TLRY, there's a model included with the alert from this morning. Well, actually previously on the reports. Where's the alert on that one from this morning? TLRY. So I alerted it 46.10 for 49.03 price target. It's trading 48.86. So it actually hit the first price target. So when it hit the first resistance here, you would trim in at above, and now it's hit the second price target, or first price target, I guess. We had been trading it back here from a few weeks back, but anyway, your next one up here is 5128, and then your next will be at 5224, and then you've got serious resistance up here at 5343. and there's one at 5198. So just go to your chart and, sorry, I'll say those again, 5030, 5128, 5196. So just go to your chart and do what I'm doing. You can bring the lines across if you want. But that's been a good trade too. So really, just follow the progression up, trim into each resistance, and add above, trim in, add above as it goes. And if it loses your support, then you can either cut or hold that position, but I would just cut. It often loses the support and then goes. So each time you'll get a little, if you cut each time, you get a little cut. It depends where you set your stops, but TLRY does that. So you got to be aware of that at each support and resistance. So that's been a good trade so far. You can just, build your size as you go. This is a crazy chart, but anyway, you can see the 200 MA on the 242 coming, 57.50 area on crude oil. So you got resistance there too. Okay, other alerts here today. So Tesla, short 225.05 for 203.42. Now Tesla, I always went long at supports previously. Then I called the short from the recent high. It was a good call, but I didn't take the actual trade. This trade I was taking on a downgrade, and I'll show you here. So we're sitting at 217.24 right now. 216.40 was the low of day. And if you look down here, there's actually a bottom target of 174. But here's that 204 area right here. So it just has to drop our level, then it gets into the target area. I think you'll probably see a bounce out of there, but we'll see. So just grab the model and you'll see the support and resistance areas. There's a lot of them on this chart. But anyway, this is where we shorted it this morning. Up in here. But I think you're going to see a bounce in that 200 area. So I'd be pretty careful. That was on a downgrade. So that worked out well. TLRY working out well. PXD working well. EEM. So I got a few questions about this one today. This one's a term. I think between now and Christmas, or at least October, this one will pay dividends, but it is a long-term swing. So it's up 1.53% today, trading 42.94. I don't have a model for you on this one, but so 45.50 was the first price target. There's a model coming on it, and 45.50 will bring you up in here. So just over previous highs. There's a gap here that we fully expect to fill, and the model will tell you the rest. But this is a daily chart. You can see MACD's up, squeeze momentum, stock RSI, trading 42.93, and the alert here went out this morning at 43.06. So we're stagnant right now, and we might even pull back a little bit, but when that 20 MA goes through the 200 here with price above, I think you're going to get a full extension up. In fact, like your price target will, if you just extend this trend line, your price target will be up in here easily, up in the 48s. So that's emerging markets, considering what the Fed's doing. And same with oil. Short the dollar, long oil, long emerging markets. Gold, I'm not doing anything with yet. Now we're in the U, and that's done well. So AGN is the other alert from this morning. Well, it's a continuation alert, right? So we've been in it for a number of days here. It's a really clean trader. We got a really solid model for it too. So that was the alert after significant sell-off. This looks ready. And that was on the 16th, and today's the 20th. This one here is one of our better models. Really, really clean model. Anyway, trading 130.75. And you can see the lows are 114. Trading 13075. Really nice pop off the lows. I'm not sure why our model's not loading here. Just going to kill some of these other charts. Internet's really bogged right now for some reason. Really shouldn't be this slow. It's high speed fiber in here. There's no reason for this. Okay, so you can see where it hit the lows in the model. First price target was here. So we put out an alert to trim into it at above, and now you're here. Now you are going to get up to a trend line resistance here. Your trajectory is here. And we expect it to spike here into here. So all you do is at each serious resistance, so there's obviously one here, there's another one here, you just work with these horizontals, right? Or you can go with the extensions that we put in for you. Anyway, you still got lots of room, only a third of that move's done. Nice trade. To the downside, I don't have anything to the downside. I don't think you're going there. Sorry, Maven sent me a message there asking me. I just don't see it. So yeah, I haven't modeled that part. Pioneer, Advanced, AMD. So it hit every upside target from our last swing trades. Some of the targets it hit late, but it hit them all. So this one here is really a trajectory or a channel trade. It's trading 130.79. We've always done really well with this. I don't like the way it trades, but we've done really well with it. Sorry, 30.01. So every time it gets into your channel support in here, that's your long signal every single time. So today we're off 1.66%. You can see here the last trade. So, well, every one of them here. So this one, the upside trajectory was here. It nailed perfect. This one here, here, and here, and it nailed this one first, and then on the next cycle, it got into here, and it got into here. So now we're into the next cycle. Now, if it loses this channel support, different story. I'd be really careful. But into the channel support, so you got a time cycle ending here, so it's chasing. I mean, here, here, and here, right? So it's obviously got into this target already. But the point is, you should, if it stays bullish, and I think it's going to get really bullish going into October, you should see 40. Okay, so those are the ones from today. MoneyGram. Now, this is one of those scenarios where your 3-day rule can kick in for day trading. For swing trading, a little bit different. So this is a weekly chart. You can see here, let's go like this. So here's the daily. So here's 3 days in. Now, after today, tomorrow is really the day to look at this. End of day Friday. I think what you're going to see, so this is daily. What I like about it, number one, I got its serious pop. But what I like more about it is the fact that this 200 is here, and with its momentum, I bet you it holds that 200, and now it's going to build its trajectory the other way, or its trend the other way. So you can take this big down, and you can go 50%, and there's your target. I think it's a huge winner. You can see, you know, when this popped on its retrace, easy 50%. When this popped on its retrace, easy 50%. It's ready again. I think you'll get an easy 50%, if not 200. I mean, if it does what it's done in past, it's a good one. So don't lose track of that. MGI. So the S&P oil and gas, XOP, obviously doing well. We may as well take a really quick gander at it. So trading 26.79. So here's the alert from the 18th. So 2 days ago, S&P oil and gas XOP from yesterday's alert bounced 2.69% today. So we alerted it on the 17th. Today's the 20th, and this will give you an idea what's going on with this. So this is a daily chart. So it looks like we might have got the bottom here. Really decent call. So it was bottoming in around, you know, in the 24 and a half, 24.65 area, and it's trading 26.79 now. Obviously not as good as oil, but for people that don't trade oil, this is another way to do it. Now this is exploration, but I think you're going to see through the time this easily outperform oil in terms of percentage, but that's yet to be seen. It's an easy way to swing it, or, you know, 3 to 6 month investment. INTC from June 14th alert, up 2.69%. So today's the 20th, so 6 days ago. Trading 47.37 today with MACD and squeeze momentum trending up. Watch the 200 MA above, right? And we've got a channel with that one, and that's INTC. I don't have the actual chart link, but that's what the alert looked like. Let's go to the actual chart itself here. So these are off the private alert feed, right? That's all I'm going through here. So this is INTC Intel. So this is a trend alert, right? So there's a couple, well, there's 3 different support areas. And so our alert was to go from this particular horizontal support. Now there's some trend lines that you can work with, but the idea is for a trade into October. It's trading 40.70 today, and if it returns like we think it will, 60.42 is your target. So it's a decent risk reward. I think in that time cycle this will do well too. The fundamentals, I'm not going to go in by. I think they will do well. That's something you can do on your own. The technical analysis part is what we're good at. The fundamentals, of course, we have reasons, but that's not our expertise. So when we have the technical set up, we'll dig into the fundamentals a little bit. Sometimes there's really no need, but anyway, box is revving up again for a big move, looking for a possible move to 23. I don't know, this is on the 18th. I don't know how many of you took it. I didn't talk to anyone that actually took this trade. Let's take a look at it. So trading 1854 today, up 0.84%. And this is a daily chart. So we would have alerted it in here. I'm just looking at the reason why, and I know why now. It's up on top of the trading box there. And anytime that you see the red and the blue, anytime you see in our charts where it gets up and over, that's always a decent risk reward into the gray. And then here's your next trading box area to watch, up in 20.34, and that should be fairly easily attainable. But your trajectory should put you here at 23.74 for the end of July. It's kind of a funky trader, so you have to be careful with it. I wouldn't give it much room on your stop loss. So that's box, oil and gas, S&P, Facebook. Now this one, we nailed this one. But I think, anyway, this is when it was getting to the underside of the trading box. So, you know, it was a trade from here, it got in underneath here, and we said trim into the trading box, add above, and it did get above. I'll show you the chart here really quick. I don't like it long term, but it was set up really well. It's like the Bitcoin trade in the way that, like Bitcoin, we nailed the bottoms really well because we still hold that trade. You know, we heard the rumors about Facebook coming out with its crypto. Of course, as Facebook the charting started to tell us that they were going to formally announce based on the algorithmic part of the chart indications, then, you know, we alerted it long. So here's where it got up. So you see how it hit the trading box support, through the gray, through the resistance, came up, and then sat back down and fired. As soon as it did that, we alerted it. You know, so down in here on the top of this trading box here in this 175s, your next trading box resistance is 188. So that's a really nice range to work with. And that's why we put out the alert to trim. And that was our target. So it nailed the target perfectly. Anyone I'm not really interested in, I think they might be able to pump it, but it's just not, I think the risk reward is waning. So that's Facebook. And then Plug Power, this is a funky one, but Plug Power has been following the trajectory on this swing alert. Pullback may be a good add or entry soon. So, you know, this is a decent trajectory, simple chart to follow, simple support and resistance areas. I'll take a really quick look at it and give you an idea what to watch for here. So we put out the alert, and then we put out an alert to trim, and said on a pullback, you know, maybe it'd be a good place to add. So you can see it's still pulling back. It's sitting right on support right now. It's got a decent trajectory. If it bounces, and it did a bit today, if it bounces off this support and it gets moving, you know, you might, if you haven't entered it yet, you might want to take the entry, or you might want to add. You do have the squeeze momentum, red, MACD down, and stock RSI down. So you might want to wait for those indicators. But it's got a decent risk reward. It's, you know, what can I say really? You got the 200 MA underneath. So if you lose the support, you could look to that 200 MA. I wouldn't give it a lot of room, but you know, it depends on your trading style. You know, some of these, when we put them out, we really like them, and some of them, you know, they're the Bitcoin trade. I'll just show you that really quick. So this is the lows. This is its long-term chart, right? By the way, we traded all this up, and we alerted when it was getting into the highs to get the heck out. And then down here at the bottoms, we alerted to get back in. And then these are your resistance levels that you would trim into and add above. Right now, it's fighting with this trim box. So where we see those orange boxes like that with the gray in the middle, and you can see there's a blue and a red line, that's where you're going to find resistance. So as it was on its way in there, it found its resistance. I'll show you it really quick here, just to give you a feel for what that looks like. Once you learn how to trade these models, they're not difficult to figure out. You'll find that those trading boxes are an excellent area to work with. Because they're the core of the move. So if you focus on taking your trades and trimming around those trading boxes, you'll do really well. So I'll just clean this up a little bit for you. So all these arrows are your support and resistance areas. So this is where the trade was alerted. So this would be, you know, trim into there, above, right? Trim into there, add above. And same thing. And you can see where it consolidated. It got up into the bottom of the trading box, and it's been fighting that ever since. Once you're up and over, you can look for a trajectory into the middle of this quad, the target. This is your trading box. So once you're in the trading box, you're safe, right? Once it's sitting on top of support and it fires. And then once you get a gray, typically that's where it's going to fire right through the target. And that's how all the models are built. And then this is your main resistance. And if you get out of the trading box, it's got to sit back on top and fire off it again. And then typically, so if there was the trend line, fib trend line here, or the quad wall, typically it'll target right here if it stays bullish in that quad. So in Bitcoin's case, it'd be 17.8 into February of next year. But it's got a lot, you know, a lot of proving out to do before that. But that's how, well, that's a quick 20-second lesson on how the models work, how they're modeled, the structure of the model. I really like this IOTS. It's got a super funky way of running, so that there's a 40 to 50% upside in these symmetrical trades. It's really cool. So every time I go up one of these and fires off these red lines, there's a possibility that you'll be into another symmetrical trade. As you can see, it's trading right here. If it gets up and over here and fires, now you see where it lost the red, and then it got up, fired here, up and over, fired into the next, up and over, fired into the next, up and over, fired into the next. Lost it, up and over, and it almost hit the next. Still working on it. It's a really cool chart. Very few charts are that symmetric. Things like GDX are very symmetrical, and if gold continues here, then we'll start to get more of those charts out on the miners, etc. So Intel, we already went through. Square, this was quite a move. let's take a look at it. So square move continues into some resistance, trim into 200 MA, add above, looks strong, square. This is a longer term swing for me. So this just becomes, you know, for me, you know, like a short investment play or a longer term swing, whatever you want to call it. But this structure is pretty cool too. So basically the way that this is structured is with a series of trading boxes with arrows in between, because your path of least resistance is where these arrows are in this particular model. But you know, into each trading box, trim and add above. It's a good trader. Let's get the MAs in here for a second. So I got up and over. It's pretty strong. I like it a lot. I mean, that's a good bounce. At least 74. Nice bounce. And I don't think it's stopping anytime soon. Our target's up here. 80s, 90s. Yeah. Probably 92. Love it. Love the story. Okay, so that's square. BYND, that was a day trade when I was bored. I took a paper cut on that one. STNE, I may as well show you quick. So long STNE 2760 with a 3375 price target. Somebody asked me about this one, so we may as well look at it quick. Oh, oil K. So there's your trajectory. You can see how price is basically a long trajectory. And here's your original alert, long STNE 2760. That's on June 10th. It's trading 29.50. So the alert went out here at the beginning of this trajectory, and that's your price target. OK got out here. Probably not a bad idea. But I think we'll hit the target. This is just the start of a model. This happens to be where the trading bot is. But the way that these models work, every time you get into one of these resistance, you trim. Every time you get above and it holds, you add. So, you know, like here, you trim into, add off. And in this case, it didn't get up to the next resistance. So now this isn't a full model. I should have built a full one for it. Maybe we've got a large report coming out. Hopefully, I'll be able to get that on there. But anyway, it's a simple trader. It's not complicated anyway. So I was on June 10th. TEUM. Maven was asking me about this one. Heavily shorted. That's as simple as it gets. Buy at the bottom of the channel, and if it doesn't hold, out, and possibly get a double or a triple. There's no model built for this one because it's just that simple. If I get time, I'll build one so you know where to trim and add. That's what Maven was asking about. VXX, yes, I'm still in. I'm long term in that into at least October. That's short-term volatility. I might get into some other better structures for that, but for now, I won't go into the volatility today. And that's it for that alert feed for now. I'm just going to look at the swing trade reports. So this is the swing trade alerts feed itself. It's not the public side feed. The public side feed is swing trading underscore CT, stands for compound trading. So add swing trading underscore CT. And you'll find a lot of the trades that we're in will put the news and related articles and stuff here. Yeah, that AU trade has been fantastic, by the way. We might as well take a really, really quick gander at it. Some of my gold bug clients have been asking me to get out a gold report. So we've got some new S&P modeling, and the gold, as soon as we can see above 1400 hold with some progressive strength, we'll get all the models out for you, for all the miners, everything. So trading 1690, it's been a great trade. So this is your beautiful trade. This is Anglo Gold. So instead of hedging with gold, I hedged with this, and it's just been fantastic. Now, these lines here, these trajectory lines, correspond with a possible breakout in gold. So for now, you know, it's been a decent hedge, but if gold breaks out, these are the possible trajectories up here. Anyway, it's a really, really clean model. Trades really well in it, really smooth. And if you just accept that you added support, trim resistance at each line, make it that simple. It's a simple, simple program because we do all the models for you. Okay. So swing newsletters off the blog. So this report at Intel we looked at, and then the oil services EIH. So there's the Intel INTC trade setup. And then the oil services at ETF OIA. This report is from the 4th June. Let's just take a really quick look. Fairly oversold. It may be a decent risk reward with stops in place. OIH. So this is the weekly. It's trading 1440, up 4.2%. So if you look at the report, what was the date of this report again? 14th. So it's trading exactly where it was on that report. I haven't taken the trade yet. I haven't alerted the trade. You know, I like to see bounce off of support. It's alarmed for it, so we'll see if we get it. IOTS, the symmetry one that I really like. That's what was in that one. Okay, we went through those. Allergen we looked at. Germany ETF, EWG. I was thinking with the Fed, that might be a good trade, but we don't have to open the chart because it hasn't activated yet. It's just stalled. The S&P, of course, it's been good. JBLU, so that's JetBlue. I'm not looking at JetBlue anymore. And I didn't take the trade. So we've covered those off. So we got MoneyGram, we looked at LYFT, XOP. So LYFT is the only one left to look at here quick. Now we do have a big report coming out, so after that I'll go through not only the ones on the report, on the new report, but I'll go back historically and look at a whole bunch of these. But for today I just wanted to, because I had been getting a number of questions from folks, so that I'll take a quick gander. So Allergen, I don't know why I confused that name in my mind. MoneyGram, LYFT, LYFT bullish chart trading 64.40, target 75.44, July 5th with 68.82 resistance, the trading box. Now, we didn't enter, however, it's trading 62.56. The bottom of the trading box is here, so you see the red and blue. So sometimes we don't draw in the trading box, so all we do is we take the rectangle drawing tool, and we just go like this, right? Anyway, the idea was for it to target here, but it's decided to pull back, and it might trigger here at the 50%. I like it a lot. You know, if I had to, I would just go like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring this down a little bit. Make sure that I catch the up. If it doesn't hold at that 50%, you're probably going to see this quad wall here. That becomes a different story. You want to leave as close to this part of the quad as possible. That's the idea. So when it gets into the honey spot of the quad, into this power zone, where the mid target is, just like this did here. So it got into that power zone, fired up into the target, and it comes back and shoot that. That's the idea. So the idea, it comes in the quad. You see how it's leaving this quad here? You want it to leave here and do the same thing again. So leave the quad here, come down to the trading box, fire out of the power zone into the target, preferably straight up through in a really bullish scenario. But when it doesn't, you have this and then leave again through here. That's the idea. Or on a pullback, you know, on a down trend and the reversal. Anyway, if you're new to the models, you'll understand after you see, you know, I've only seen 20,000 of them, right? The idea is to model them so that the nature of the instrument, the things that you're looking for, are consistent all the time. When you get a scenario where it fires out of the core here and straight through, that's the most ideal. Then you know you're in a really bullish environment. So I still like it, but I'll watch for a bounce here, and that's LYFT. So that's it for the day, I believe. Yeah. I'll try and do a really good review tomorrow. Hopefully that report comes out tonight. The first thing I have to do is edit the oil report, though. Of course, oil companies, you know, a lot of the juniors that are really oversold and that kind of thing. But anyway, have a great day, guys and gals. It's 3:36 p.m. June 20th. I'll see you in tonight's futures and then, of course, tomorrow.